Made the simple way. With real lemon juice, 75% less sugar, and say yes to simple.
Hey folks, today is Friday, July 1st, 2022. Coming up on this special edition of our show on the Black Star Network, we are live from New Orleans and Essence Festival, of course, Coca-Cola. We're partnering with them for these special edition shows. Also, they are the presenting sponsor of Essence Fest. Man, we got a jam-packed couple hours for you folks. We've shot some amazing stuff. Of course, people are already in New Orleans, all around the city, at the restaurants, walking the streets, convention center, the Essence Eats, had gone all different sessions. Last night, we caught up with Congressman Troy Carter. They always have the opening party, Generation Hall, so we will hear from him. Also, we'll hear from McDonald's folks and their Future 22, including one of the youngest black female stockbroker. We talk about her history, but also she gives one of my staffers, schools him on crypto, on how it's not a good investment. Also, we'll talk with McDonald's official who's trying to get more African Americans to be owners of franchises. Plus, we stopped by the Coca-Cola kitchen at Essence Eats with my man Chef Kwame, and they had a culinary contest, and man, y'all, I had some fantastic food, including this braised short rib. It was supreme, and so we'll show you some of that as well. Plus, what it's like when I got off the Rolandville and ran, and just door opens, and who's standing right there? Chef! And so we caught up with my man Richard Roundtree as well. Plus, EPA Administrator Michael Regan, Quentin James. He's a co-founder of Collective PAC. What they're doing to elect more African Americans to office. We'll show you the Black Women's Roundtable, the panel that they had. Folks, it's all kind of stuff we've been out here covering. And so we've got the best coverage of Essence Fest right here on the Black Star Network. It's time to bring the funk. Let's go!
Whatever the best, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, go, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, rolling with Roland now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now. Martin.
All right, fam, what's up? Roland Martin here. I'm in New Orleans. We've been here since Monday, getting prepared for this very moment. Essence Festival began last night here. Kevin Hart performed at the Smoothie King Center, and already folks have been coming into town. Even with all the rain that's been happening here, a lot of excitement, people hitting the streets, restaurants, walking the streets, going to the convention center, going to all the different sessions. Things have really been taken off. Our cameras have been all over the place. Folks, I've got multiple crews doing social media posts. We've been shooting events and live streaming. If you miss a lot of that, simply go to the Black Star Network app. You can see what we streamed earlier today from Essence Festival. We're going to be covering stuff today, tomorrow, Sunday as well, so you don't want to miss it. And so we got lots of stuff to show you. And so let's kick this thing off. We talked to Congressman Troy Carter. He, of course, is the member of Congress, the only African-American in the Louisiana delegation. We dropped by this massive party that is held every single year at Generation Hall. He, of course, in the past, Congressman Cedric Richmond had a party. I ran into some friends. That's my girl Christine Granville out of Atlanta. And so so many people we saw last night at the party, had a fantastic time. Y'all know I had to go ahead and get it in on the stage. We were dancing, having a good time. But we did, it's called a party with a purpose. And so we did talk a little purpose with a man, Congressman Troy Carter. And so we talked about politics. We talked about economics. We talked about the importance of this festival. We also had a little conversation about the power of black love. Here is my conversation with the Congressman. Oh, I understand.
Always good to be with you.
Indeed. Well, I see you folks getting here early this year.
Oh, yeah. You know, people have been so waiting on the moment to get back to Essence, to get back to New Orleans. And after 2 years hiatus, you can see people are very happy. Very glad to see you, brother. Always good to be with you. Folk out having a good time, enjoying Essence, good, clean, fun, partying with a purpose. A party, but yes, a party that talks about what we need to do to lift up our people, to fight against the evils that's going on with the Supreme Court, to fight against those efforts to turn back the clock. It's a good time.
And one of those evils, I mean, the way it should be going down, you should be having a second black colleague after November, and what the Supreme Court did was truly foul.
Absolutely. Listen, math is math. You can split, dice this any way you want. We've got 6 members of Congress, and we are 1/3 of the state. Should be 2 members. There should be
2 black members.
2 black members in the United States Congress from Louisiana. And unfortunately, this Supreme Court has dealt us yet another dirty hand, and we're going to continue to fight. And what I tell people all the time is, don't let this lull you to sleep. Let this energize you to come out, to vote, to push. The more they try to move the ball, the more they try to take away our rights, the more we have to fight. The more we have to get to the ballot box, because elections have consequences, and we're seeing them manifest themselves right now.
Well, one of the things that I was just the other day, Gary Chambers I think it was doing a radio interview, and he said that New Orleans, Monroe, and I think one other city, literally the black turnout was from 20 to 36%. And what I've been saying is, in these places where our folks are, we've got to get that number to 50, 55, 60. We do that, we can run elections. And so what is it going to take to get, again, that black number above 50%?
Let me tell you, I think the Supreme Court action on stripping the rights of women, their reproductive freedoms, and the right to choose is going to backfire, and it's going to mobilize people to come out and vote like they've never before. When you hear Senator Cornyn from Texas who says we should revisit Brown v. Board of Education, we should revisit Plessy versus Ferguson, the separate but equal doctrine, man, if that doesn't get your attention, nothing does. We need to energize and come out, and I believe come November, you're going to see a turnout like we've never seen before. We have to stay angry. We have to stay hungry. We have to stay laser focused on making sure we did what Georgia did.
Right.
We picked up 2 Senate seats that we weren't supposed to get. Now we've got to go after those who don't understand the basic decency of serving people. Get them up or get them out.
I'm glad you mentioned Georgia because I've seen some numbers that estimate that there are 300,000 unregistered but eligible African Americans in Louisiana. And so is there a movement here to create a new Louisiana project like Georgia did, to go after those folks, to touch them where people have been, frankly, not talking to them, ignoring them, to activate that base? That's what changed Georgia.
And let me tell you, we don't need to recreate the wheel. I was with Nikema Williams today, who's my dear friend and colleague in Congress, and who is chairman of the Democratic Party. And I talked to our Democratic Party leaders and said, listen, let's borrow a page from their playbook. We don't have to recreate the wheel. We've just got to take the method that they use.
And they got to cut the check.
Energize our people, raise the money, and the party has to weigh in. Louisiana is not a lost cause. We used to be blue, and we can be blue again. But it's going to take the kind of effort that we saw happen in Georgia. I'm totally confident in our Democratic Party here in Louisiana to energize and get people going. But we got to do it together.
Now, that's blue. Let's talk black. And so one of the things that what I have been saying is that when you look at this festival, it speaks to black collective in terms of economics. And what I am constantly saying is we should be looking at this period, this post-George Floyd period, as the third Reconstruction. If we're not having a money conversation, we're not having a real conversation.
That's right. I had a conversation today with Secretary Buttigieg of Transportation, and I said, listen, we got $1.2 trillion, the largest infrastructure package since the creation of the interstate system. Now, how do we take that and utilize and make sure that we have African Americans that are part of the mainstream and making some money. Being a part of design, road build, the whole 9 yards. We're getting there, and we got to keep pushing, because the last thing we can afford to have happen is we have the largest infrastructure bill passed and black folk not have an opportunity to partake. We've missed the boat if that happens. We're not going to let that happen.
And that's the thing with us getting 1.67% of all federal contracts. And my deal is, look, we moved that to 3 to 5 to 10. All of a sudden, you go now from $9 billion annually to $56 billion annually. I'm like, that changes our community and changes black-owned businesses.
That is the kind of life-changing opportunities this infrastructure bill, Build Back Better, and all of the other efforts that the Biden administration is pushing and this Democratic caucus is pushing. Because it's not about a stimulus that's a one-time pop. It's about the life-changing opportunities through education, economic development opportunities. That's what changes things.
So I'm going to ask this question here that speaks to this festival. In your own words, explain what black love feels like when folks are here, whether it's a party, whether at the festival, in this city, in the restaurants, and just what does that feel like, black love?
It's an unconditional, unexplainable, from the heart, deep, the essence of love. When you look at all of these beautiful people that are here, that come from all over the world to enjoy the music, the culture, the food, and the party with a purpose. It's like when we had the Million Man March years ago, when people came together and there was a sense of belonging, a sense of love. We got to keep tapping into that. And as I say to our brothers and sisters, we've got to learn to talk more to each other and less about each other. We've got to commit ourselves to a new us, fight to uplift each other, put down the guns, put down the drugs. Let's love each other the way it's supposed to be, the way we did at Grandma's house on Sundays. That's where we are.
Well, for me, it was grandmother and grandfather's house.
There you go, brother.
I appreciate it.
Bless
Thanks
you,
a bunch.
always,
I
man. We love
appreciate
you,
it.
brother.
Thank you. All right, folks, got to go to a break. When we come back, we will show you what happened at the National Herbalese Gumbo Awards. Also, we'll have for you folks Kiki Palmer. She was part of the panel at the McDonald's Fortune Future 22 event. We will also hear from one of the franchisees talking about what they're trying to do to get more African Americans involved as owners at McDonald's franchises. Plus, we'll hear from Richard Roundtree, also EPA Administrator Michael Regan. Folks, it's a jam-packed show. We got more for you, so y'all hold tight as we sit here and I have this special edition of our show on the Black Star Network with Coca-Cola at the 2022 Essence Fest. We'll be right back.
Made the simple way. With real lemon juice, 75% less sugar, and say yes to simple.
Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. For when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Lots of oranges. Half the sugar. 1,000% delicious. That's simple math. Say yes to simple.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am Roland with Roland all the way. Honored to be on the show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
You dig? All right, folks, welcome back to our special edition of RMU on the Black Star Network, powered by Coca-Cola. We are here at the 2022 Essence Fest in New Orleans. National Urban League had their Gumbo Awards. Mark Morrell, the CEO of the National Urban League, former mayor of New Orleans, native of the city. His dad was mayor here as well. The convention center is named after his dad, Ernest Dutch Morrell. And so our cameras were there for the Urban League's Gumbo Awards. Here's what took place.
This event is important to me. And the reason why is there are so many people who've contributed greatly to the growth, the development, and the progress of this community, who do not and have not gotten just and due recognition. And as Judy said, we need to recognize people while they can experience that recognition. And as I reflect as a member of what I like to call the Joshua Oliver generation, there are also many who before us pioneered, paved the way, knocked down barriers, opened doors, helped out, issued tough love, all along the way that has helped so many of us do what we do and make our contributions to public service. So I want to apologize in advance that this list of honorees is not complete, because there are, Don Hubbard, some others in the room and some others who are not here who we may have unintentionally forgotten, but that's just a reason to do this again next year. To recognize those that have not been recognized. So I want to begin today by asking a few people to come up and share some thoughts.
$28,000 1 or 2 bedroom to what it is now, to accommodate me, my older sister, my younger sister, my mom, and whoever else would stop by. It was from my dad I learned how to walk with and be among community in everything you do, not just in your personal life, but in your professional life as well. And I'm just so glad to be home in this gathering, seeing people I haven't seen in so long. Now, I want to say a quick word about Mark. When I was a baby lawyer at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, we had tragedy strike New Orleans in Hurricane Katrina. And I was sent down to figure out what we could do to help. And we saw Torrance Sanders and Oliver and so many other people trying to figure out what could we do. And we're in the strategy room with Mark. and he turns to me and said, "What do you think? What do you think?" And he continues to do that to this day, giving people opportunity, giving you a chance to step up, but an opportunity to lead. But not leading for yourself, but leading for us, leading for our community. So that is the Gumbo Coalition, and that is Mark Morial.
Care of things and stepping in the breach and taking advantage of an opportunity. I clerked for Dutch Morial after I finished law school. What we had in common was Dutch Morial was the first African American to attend law school at LSU, and Camille Gray and I were the first black women to attend law school at LSU. And when I finished law school, he hired me as law clerk. A lot of you don't even remember that old St. Peter Claver building on Orleans Avenue, but that's where I started my legal career. And I have to give, just let you know how grateful I am to young lawyers like Mark Morial, who stepped up and filed a Chisholm lawsuit. Ron Chisholm agreed to be the named plaintiff. You would have to understand the courage it takes to be a young law graduate and to file a lawsuit against the justices of the Louisiana Supreme Court. That's what Mark Morial did. And of course, as a result of that Chisholm lawsuit, I had the great opportunity to serve as Chief Justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court, the 25th Chief Justice. But it wouldn't have happened without everybody here in this room, because every time you want to move forward, there's always a challenge. And so my colleagues were suggesting to me, well, we'll let Justice Victory be chief, and then Justice Knoll be chief, and then you'll get your chance to be chief. And everybody in this room says, no, we're not going to step back. We can't do that. We can't let somebody leapfrog over us and take advantage of an opportunity that we're entitled to. And so, I could not have done this without the people in this room. It wasn't really me. It was everybody else in the community who was saying, no, it's her turn, and she's got to be the next Chief Justice. So I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. There's a lot of battles ahead, and I always talk with all the young leaders in this room, the ones that I've had a chance to mentor. I'd let them know that Royce Duplessis and all of the others, that the battle is, you've got a battle ahead, because you've got folk who are fighting you on redistricting and voter rights, and that there are lots of challenges ahead, but I know you're equal to the task, and so that's why I'm enjoying my retirement. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, coming up next, we are going to show you the McDonald's Future 22. They awarded $10,000 to 22 young folks who doing some amazing things. We'll hear from Keke Palmer, who was on the panel as well. We'll also hear from a sister with McDonald's who's trying to get more African Americans as franchisees. And we'll talk to a young sister, the youngest black female stockbroker on Wall Street, where we talk about her journey. But she also gives a little education to one of my staffers about the risk of crypto. In addition, later in the show, folks, we're going to hear from Richard Roundtree as we caught up with him on the streets of Essex. We'll hear from the administrator of the EPA, Michael Regan, who's here, the Black Women's Roundtable. They were also here talking about reproductive rights and also the power of black women. We talked to Quentin James, co-founder of Collective PAC, about the importance of raising money and giving to black candidates to elect them to office. And so, folks, a lot of things are happening here at the 2022 Essence Festival. And we, of course, doing this in partnership with Coca-Cola, and certainly glad to have them with us as a partner. And so a jam-packed show for you. Got to go to a break. And here's what we're doing. Today's question is, what does black love mean to you? And so we're going to show you some responses right here on the Black Star Network, live from New Orleans at the 2022 Essence Festival, powered by Coca-Cola. Back in a moment.
lots of oranges, half the sugar, 1,000% delicious. That's simple math. Say yes to simple.
Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. For when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Made the simple way. With real lemon juice, 75% less sugar, and say yes to simple.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches! Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig? Welcome back to our Essence Fest show on the Black Star Network, powered by Coca-Cola. We dropped by the McDonald's Future 22 luncheon today, where they honored 22 young people who are doing amazing things, who are game changers, even awarding them $10,000 each. There was a panel discussion, and Keke Palmer, she was on it, so we got a chance to see Keke. We live streamed that event, so if y'all want to see the whole program, go to the Black Star Network app to check it out. But here's some of what Keke had to say. All right, folks, we got an audio issue. So we do this here. We're going to come back to play Kiki. I did catch up with one of the winners, one of the Future 22, a young lady who the youngest stockbroker, youngest black female stockbroker on Wall Street. And here is our conversation. Okay. All right, Lauren. So they handed out some big checks. So you're one of the Future 22. What do you do to be one of the Future 22?
Have to be a game changer, and in my case I made history by becoming the youngest trader and the second African American woman to ever work at the New York Stock Exchange.
Gotcha. So when did we last talk? Was it, because I've actually interviewed you before? Yes, and it was, yes.
Future Black America with Rev Run. We were together, yes?
Was it that one? I know, we sat down. I'm trying to remember, where was it?
I literally was looking at my hair lady. I was like, I know that we've done something together. Yes, I don't know.
Yes, we have. We have.
I have terrible memory, and I'm only 27, so I got a memory of a 70-year-old. So
it's all good. No, because when you said youngest future stock trader, I said, hold up, we already did an interview. And so I was trying to remember where we did it, but I know we did the interview. So let's talk about that because with the other folks who are here, the other young folks who are here. It's also about, you would say, game changers, but also creating pathways. Not saying I want to work for somebody else, but I want to have folks who work for me. Or as I say, not cashing checks, writing checks.
Right, being an entrepreneur. And I think with this new generation, we are really evolving from our parents, our grandparents, and really just taking the leap of finding our passion and being entrepreneurs and actually making money from it, which is beautiful.
Well, look, that's always a good thing. And again, I prefer to be one who's handing out checks. So what would you say has been the biggest thing that you've learned doing your own thing? Because it's not always peaches and cream.
No.
Being from Georgia, I threw a little peach in there, as you see.
I saw that. I love that. Thank you for that. The biggest thing I've learned is how much people, whether they are intentional or not about it, will doubt you and will put fear in your mind and make you believe that you can't achieve what you have set out to do. And I'm a true believer that we individually know ourselves better than anyone else. So if you believe that you can do something, go out there and do it. Don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the people. Make your dreams a reality.
Where did it start for you to do this? Like, what was the idea? What was the seed that got planted when you said, oh, I can do that?
You know, it's my family, honestly. My family is the most supportive, and I have a brother with a disability, and he has this most optimistic mindset, and if he could do anything, he would. And so for me, I felt like, what is my excuse? And so.
But did you have a family history of who was working on Wall Street? You know, right. So what was it when you said, oh, I want to do that? What was that thing that sparked that?
You know what? Nothing sparked that. I had a gentleman say to me, do you want to work at the New York Stock Exchange?
And what were you doing at the time?
I had just graduated, and I had studied genetics, and I said, hell yes. I don't know if I can say that.
So you studied genetics,
yes.
And he says you want to work at the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
How do those two go together?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
He just figured, oh, you smart. Like, you majoring in genetics? Yeah, you smart as hell. You can figure this out.
I don't know, but he definitely opened that opportunity, and I'm a big believer of opportunities, and take the opportunity and do what you will with that. And so I said yes. I did have a strong background in math, so there's a lot of correlation in that. And
y'all know that ain't wrong.
I can help you.
I can count money. I can negotiate deals, but I hated math.
Well, listen, I got you if you need it. I can help you budget, save, raise that credit score. What are we trying to do? But
I don't even. Well, first of all, I pay for everything in cash, so I don't even need credit. I'm sorry. I'm saying.
Everybody needs credit, even a business owner.
For what?
You need it.
For what?
To build. It helps build your capital. It helps to be leverage.
I got the capital in the bank.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Anyways.
Math did drive me crazy. Yeah. I told my professors, I said, hey, look, I can count money. Yeah. I can go make money, negotiate deals. I ain't using Pythagorean theorem for nothing.
Calculus, no, and I think that's simple math at its finest is what you need for finance. And if you could do that, then you're fine. And I think people get intimidated about finance and being in the industry. because of the other things that we learn in school that just isn't applicable to your everyday life.
Although I'm still not understanding crypto. It's still like, I actually like ones, fives.
Don't invest in crypto.
Thank you. Okay.
Period.
He on my team. He's a crypto fiend.
No, absolutely not.
Go ahead and talk to the camera.
Don't invest in crypto.
Get over here. Tell him why. Get over here. All right, y'all. So I'm having this conversation with Lauren, and then crypto comes up, and she's like, "Oh hell, no, I don't get involved in crypto." Well, Anthony Hampton, who works on the show, he is all into crypto, and so I said, "Why don't I two have a conversation about crypto?" Here that is. Here's the conversation. Stand right here. Tell him why not to invest in crypto. Lauren, do what you do.
Crypto is a speculative asset. There is nothing backing it, and as of yesterday has dropped down to the lowest that it's ever dropped down. So everybody that's saying that crypto is a hedge against inflation, it's not. It's not.
It's not a hedge against inflation right now. There's regulation that's being drawn up and discussed. So once it gets regulated, institutional investors will start investing. So if you get in early, the assets won't change.
Okay,
so at its lowest right now, I think it's a good time to get in, especially if you have money. You got to have money to do it, though. I wouldn't put my last dollar in, but if I have $1,000, I would definitely invest it in a crypto.
Okay, so what I say to that is, yes, it's going to be regulated, but it's not going to be regulated under the SEC. It's going to be regulated under commodities and future trading. Futures that trade are not traded and backed on any kind of value. It's also considered speculative trading. So unless, and the difference for people that don't know what as like being regulated under the SEC, being regulated under the SEC means that you are a corporation, that you have to disclose your quarterly financials. You actually have money to give to your shareholders.
All that is great, but do you go to the casino?
I don't.
Okay, maybe not you, but there's millions of people that go to the casino. There's millions of people that also play the lottery.
Right.
So
and 99% of their money.
But they don't lose 99% of their money.
Wait, gambling?
No, they don't.
Really?
If they lost 99% of their money, how would they afford the gas to get there? How would they? They're not losing 99% of their money. They're losing maybe 99% of the money that they're gambling with, but that's just the fun in it. So it's like, I have other ways. I have Roths. I have other ways that I invest my money. I have other companies as well. But if I want to be speculative about crypto, it's just a choice because everybody has a choice. So it's like, it could work, it couldn't work, but I'm not going to put people do DraftKings, everything. I mean, there's DraftKings, there's Caesars betting, like there's crypto.
So you're telling the people that are listening to this interview to go out there and gamble?
No, what I'm telling them is...
He's not on the air, he behind the camera.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not on the air. This is not financial advice at all. I'm just saying this is Anthony Hampton advice. So if you want to do crypto, do crypto. Like,
okay. We good. All right, Anthony. All right, go back to work, Anthony. But yeah, I'm seriously. I've had people hit me up like, Roland, you should accept crypto for your Bring the Funk fan club. I said.
But what I will say is that I don't believe in crypto. What I do believe is the blockchain technology, and I do believe that blockchain technology will be a disruptor in its space.
Okay, so now me and you're gonna definitely talk later, because I've had people on my show. I still know what the hell they talking about with blockchain.
It's a software. At its at the root, it's just software. Right. And the software and what it's going to be able to do, amazing. As far as blockchain, crypto, Ethereum, I don't know what we're already seeing that and all the money, honestly, that has been made in crypto has already been made. I know Anthony said like more institutional investors will go into it. Institutional investors are going to something else, right? Because we see this trend happening. They're going to put their money probably into NFTs, and then that's going to crash. And then to something else, metaverse, and then that's going to crash. So like
So you ain't down with NFTs or metaverse?
NFTs, no. The metaverse is still open because I'm not really sure what they're
doing. They can't figure out what to do in this universe versus trying to figure out the metaverse.
No, I agree. But it's open. It's open.
All right, well, look, it's good to see you. Yes, we got to communicate again, so I'll give you my information. You can explain to me what the hell, walk me through blockchain, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Again, I like what I know.
Yeah.
Trying to say, what's in my pocket?
Tangible.
I like that. I mean, I know what that does.
I agree. I know what that does too.
All right, then. Good seeing you. Appreciate it. Now, folks, as I said, we got it now ready. So Keke Palmer was actually on the panel, because yeah, we played it earlier. We had an audio issue there. So go ahead and get Keke Palmer, get Keke queued up. Keke was on the panel beforehand. I'm going to talk to Keke. Then we're going to hear from Vicki Chancellor. Vicki she's actually one of the black operators. Really is all about trying to get more black folks owning operators. And so they had a panel discussion. As I said, we live streamed it on the Black Star Network. You can go to our YouTube channel or go to the app. You can actually check it out. And so they had a very good conversation. And so we're going to share some of that with you. So Vicki Chancellor she's the owner-operator with McDonald's. And we got a chance to talk to her about the importance of African Americans owning their own franchises. Watch this. All right, Vicki, look, now I know because of all the stuff that I've done for the black McDonald's operators, what they do. But for people who really don't quite know the history, it's a long history of African Americans who are operators. But people don't also realize they're owners. Not just operators, they're owners of the franchises.
We are definitely owners, and the difference between just being an owner and an operator, for us as owners, that means that we own our cash flow, we own the branding and the marketing and everything in our store, versus just being an operator where you go in and you run that store, but you really, when you sell it, you don't have anything to sell. As an operator, when we sell it, we own that cash flow and are able to hopefully become multi-millionaires.
I've known a lot of operators when I was in Houston or Dallas, Chicago, D.C., and unlike, there's no diss in the other owner operators, but the black operators have really been critical players in philanthropy in many black communities across the country.
Yes, we pride ourselves in giving back to our communities. And when you are a black operator, you know that you stood on the shoulders of somebody else. You know that when you lived in that community, it was that your minister or that black teacher or just that neighbor that made sure that you were on the straight and narrow. And as a community, we always had to look out for each other and make sure that we were helping the next person up.
And obviously, what are you doing? What are the black operators doing to create that next generation of owner operators? I've met several. Many of them, their parents own stores. But for somebody out there who's looking to actually say, I want to be an entrepreneur, how do they get involved and say, hey, that might be a possibility to become McDonald's owner operator?
So excellent question, and I'm glad you asked that. Because one of the things that we are looking for, McDonald's, is we are looking for, I will say, black, young people that would like to get in the McDonald's system. And actually, McDonald's just has started a $250 million fund that will be able to help people in diverse communities, and I say black because I'm black, but right. That would include Hispanics, right. That would include...
My black show, we say black.
Yes.
With a capital B.
Yes. So that means that if you have an interest, if you're out there now and you have that drive to be an entrepreneur and you want to build wealth for your family, I would ask you can give me a call, but you can also give Roland a call, and he will put you in touch with McDonald's.
Okay. All right. We certainly appreciate it. Always good to see you.
Roland, I want you to know that McDonald's has a great love for you. You have always stood by us, and we just like everything that you do. And we wish you much love and success.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Now, y'all know I always like dancing, see, and me and Keke Palmer got history when I was on the show that she did I think it was GMA3, Michael Strahan. It was a show that came on in the afternoon. And so I actually stopped by one day, and so they had the music going, and so we started doing the two-step. And so when she finished her session today, she came off. Of course, you know we had to have a little conversation. So here's me and Kiki cutting it up.
McDonald's owner-operators. McDonald's owner-operators, please meet in the Carrollton room on the first floor. Carrollton room first.
All right, y'all, again, it was great to see Kiki, and we look forward to having a one-on-one with her on the Black Star Network. All right, y'all, got to go to a break. We come back. The Black Women's Roundtable had a conversation about reproductive rights and the power of black women. We'll also hear from Quentin James, co-founder of Collective PAC, talking about the importance of fundraising for African Americans. And plus, Michael Regan, the administrator of the EPA, he talks about environmental justice in African Americans. All of that right here on the Black Star Network special edition of the Essence Fest 2022, powered by Coca-Cola. We'll be right back.
Made the simple way. With real lemon juice, 75% less sugar, and say yes to simple.
Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. For when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Lots of oranges, half the sugar, 1,000% delicious. That's simple math. Say yes to simple.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches! Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN. I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am Roland with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
You dig? folks, we've been traveling all around New Orleans asking the question to many folks, and that is, what exactly is black love? And so we've had an opportunity to catch up with some folks, and they've been sharing their thoughts about this. And so we've been using, this has sort of been a question we've been asking. So check this out.
And black love for us is all about loyalty, friendship,
family, showing, fighting, and if you fight, you still family, still get each other's backs, just, being there for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then. So, again, that's what black love is all about. And so, again, it's been really interesting as we have been looking at the conversations that have been taking place, listening to a lot of these discussions. We had a chance to catch up with the folks at the Black Women's Roundtable. Of course, they were sharing their thoughts and perspectives. Black women are a centerpiece of Essence Festival, and one of the things that we have been, of course, dealing with has been this battle with reproductive rights. That's one of the issues since the Roe v. Wade decision came down with the Supreme Court. That was a major part of a panel conversation today, but also the power of black women. The Black Women's Roundtable, they actually had that session. Melanie Campbell and her group, and so we had an opportunity to chat with them and to actually showcase that. If you go to our Black Star Network app, you'll actually see the entire event. We live streamed the entire event, an opportunity for us to be able to show you that conversation. So I want to play some of that right now, y'all, and so hopefully we won't have any technical issues, and so let's go to that conversation.
It's different medications that are FDA approved, that they have the right to access those medications through the mail, and they're willing to stand up for those protections. That's really important. I think that there are other implications around access to contraception and just other health care services. There are some requirements under the Affordable Care Act and even under Medicaid and people's ability to access those sorts of services. So I think that the administration can do a lot to speak up on that, but I also think that they just have to be bold and unequivocal that this is a ruling that cannot stand. Right. Like we should not accept it as anything but a politically driven effort to deny women and people who give birth their rights. And they need to be bold and loud and consistent in saying, we will fight it. We will fight it at every place we can because it is unacceptable and it is inconsistent with what we know about the Constitution and our rights generally. But that's where they can start.
I think you said that so beautifully, and I'm so glad you said it first because I don't have the nice words to say what I think they need to do, right? I just think this administration needs to boss up. Like that's what they need to do. They need to stop playing this little pitter-patter game and actually take off the gloves and do the work. Right? So yes, we have our role to play. I know we're going to talk about voting and the power of that, and all of that's important. But if we don't have folks who are willing to stand in the ways that we need them to, unapologetically, by any means necessary kind of attitude, then why are you in this office, right? I don't understand. So I think I'm coming with, I appreciate those who can put it with this, give us the right things to say, and I lean on these folks right here. Because I'm ready to say, get off your asses and actually do the work that you were put in your position to do. Our previous administration used everything and then some to put us in the situation that we are in. Why are we not doing the same thing? And not trying to say we're trying to be like the opposition, but it is important for our people to use their power that they have to the fullest extent of that and do that thing for real, y'all. So I think I'm coming with a lot of fire today, in case y'all haven't noticed. But I'm ready for them to boss up.
So we're looking at Roe v. Wade, we're looking at EPA, we're looking at an interesting border decision. And before that, it was guns everywhere, right? And so what we divide up, and my sisters to the left, they going in hard on Roe, and we know the impact. But this is that thing of you got to know your history or you'll repeat it. This folks. That's right. There's a bunch of folks that always had an agenda with a very, very few. So I want some white folks to understand, look, you weren't included either. They coming up for yours as well. The folks on the plantation, there wasn't a whole lot of folks in the big house. It was just a little crew over there, and everybody else served them. So that was the plan. And now there's a movement to say, how can we, the few, control the rest? And everybody, so the only way that can happen is if some of us work on road, and some of us work on the environment, and some of us work on that, and we miss the bigger picture. And then the other thing is our numbers. They got black folks in the mindset that we like 13%. I travel. Everywhere I go, there's black people. Everywhere. I go to South America, there's black people. I go to Africa, there's a lot more black people. I go to Europe, there's plenty of black folks. So the issue and what time it is, we have to understand that we got to make the leap forward. We can't do what we've done. And we have to set an agenda for these young people that enables them to reach for the future. We're going to hold it down. And those of us that are in the blue states where you can get pills, the best thing I heard, buy a lot of them if you can afford to, so that we can distribute where they need to be. It's like, I am gangster. So when it comes to gangster, yes, dealing with a sister in a situation, we gonna drive you, we gonna provide you, we've done it for other stuff. And look, I'm not trying to party and get high, I'm trying to save a life. So we got to be there and let it be known. If you come for me, you come for all of us.
That's it.
So that's what time it is, because this is not a situation we want to. Would that it would be just about abortion.
The only thing that I would just raise again, and I'm going to pick up where you put down, is that we need to be intersectional and creative. So what does that mean? That means that even though this conversation is about abortion access, we know that black women are not just about abortion access, and abortion access is not just about abortion. It's an economic issue. It's an environmental issue. It's a criminal justice issue. It's all these other things that come into our lives. So our administration not only should be thinking about Roe, it should also be thinking about how do we make sure that the lives of black women, regardless if they want to have an abortion and or keep their pregnancy, right, that they are creating the conditions for that to happen. So we also need to be keeping them accountable of what does it mean to have fair pay. We also need to be keeping them accountable. What does it mean to also have paid parental leave? What does it mean for us to be thinking about this full range of things so folks can actually give themselves options? Because abortion access is more than about, oh, well, I just woke up and I just don't want to be pregnant. Even though sometimes that is the question, or sometimes that is the answer. Abortion access is about all the pieces, because we know that most people who have abortions are already parents, right? We know that, so they are making, and most times they are making economical decisions. That's right. So how do we also address those issues as well? So when folks tell you that there is nothing to do because of the Congress and the way it's at, don't believe them.
That's right.
Tell them that there are many things that they can be doing around abortion access. There are many things that can be doing around reproductive and sexual health access. And it doesn't just stop at one piece of legislation or one court case.
That's very important. But I'm hearing a common thread is tell Congress, which pivots me into where we're headed. We're headed to the midterm election.
Yeah.
Well, we vote folks in and we vote folks out. What should we be thinking about right now, also planning and preparing to do for the midterm to impact what's going on?
And we vote at high numbers. We get out there, older black women, or more seasoned black women are one of the highest propensity voters in the country, right? But we need to also make sure that our vote is getting paid off after they get into office. So what do we also do after the voting? How are we holding them accountable? Are we asking them questions? What are you doing? How are you helping black folks? And then after, make sure that they are actually holding the folks accountable. We can be asking elected officials right now, where are your stance on abortion access? Where is your stance on all these issues? Just because you came to my church doesn't mean that you got my back. So we need to be also having all of those conversations and having them answer to Black women in particular and Black birthing folks. So I think that's the first piece. I think the second one, this is not normal times. So we can't be acting normally. So that means that we got to, again, think big and creative on how we are engaging with our people. So that means we might have to have roundtable discussions in our living rooms. We might have to have roundtable discussions in our bedrooms. We need to be making sure that our folks are aligned and having conversations. So you got cousin and them coming to the elections and coming to the polls with you and asking those same questions.
So I'm so glad to know that I'm at the end of the stage with the not normal. Because see, so I sat in the right chair. Because while I'm working to get everybody that I can to vote, we have the opportunity to lift up things. We can say, oh, your choice is this. And we have a Reverend Warnock from Ebenezer that's articulate, educated, the examples. So it's like, you can go with this or you can go with that. I